She's so rotten, she wants migrants picking cotton. We present to you Democratic Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, who made this shocking argument why America needs immigrants. Roll it, Alfred.
So I had to go around the country and educate people about what immigrants do for this country, or the fact that we are a country of immigrants.
Right.
The fact is, ain't none of y'all trying to go and farm right now. Okay, so I'm lying. Raise your hands.
This is when the wheels fall off.
You're not.
The lights burned hot. The cameras were rolling. Jasmine Crockett walked onto that live TV stage believing her attitude and eyeliner would control the narrative. But what happened next was nothing short of a public execution in real time. Greg Gutfeld came armed with razor-sharp sarcasm, and Megyn Kelly stepped in like a courtroom assassin, stripping away Jasmine's arguments one fact at a time. The clash escalated fast. Crockett's confidence cracked under the pressure, her voice trembling as the audience leaned in. Within minutes, the Queen of Sass found herself cornered and outmaneuvered. And just when she thought it couldn't get worse, it did. Because the real video receipts were about to drop, and that's when everything changed.
It's just, that's what she does. She puts out this video of her acting in a certain way, and that's how she fundraises.
Mm-hmm. We actually did a bit of a deep dive on her after my old colleague from Fox News, Todd Starnes, posted something on X not long ago, Walter. He posted the following. Jasmine Crockett wants you to think she's from the hood, that she grew up on the streets. The exact opposite is true. She attended an exclusive day school where tuition is nearly $35,000 a year. She also attended Rhodes College, a private school where tuition is nearly $55,000 a year. She's cosplaying a gangsta. So we looked up her background. She was born in St. Louis. She's 43. Her dad was a Baptist pastor and a teacher. Her mother worked in a post office. She graduated from Mary Institute and St. Louis Country Day School, one of the most expensive private schools in the city. Indeed, the current tuition, $35,000.
Before the cameras, Jasmine Crockett wears the persona of a political firebrand. But behind the gloss lies a carefully constructed image. Private schools with tuition north of $55,000, elite academies, and curated privilege disguised as struggle. She's 43 now, raised in St. Louis with a Baptist pastor father and hard-working mother. Yet on stage, she performs politics like it's reality TV. The problem? This wasn't Bravo. This was Congress. And when she brought TikTok energy to a high-stakes policy debate, Greg Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly dismantled her act with brutal precision. The carefully staged "I fight for the people" image collapsed under hard truths and cold facts. Jasmine thought she was leading the show, but this wasn't her stage anymore. And what came next would shatter her carefully built persona forever.
Jasmine Crockett's got another hot take. No blacks and whites on a wedding cake. The Democrats' new chosen one, Jasmine Crockett, is in the news again for an old clip where she attacked Florida Rep. Byron Donalds for marrying a white woman. Roll it, Bertha.
The fact that you sitting around talking about life was better under Jim Crow? Is this because you don't understand history? Or literally it's because you married a white woman and so you think that whitewashed you?
That's not very woke, is it?
It started like a routine panel, but within seconds, the atmosphere turned hostile. Greg Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly didn't come to talk. They came to detonate. Their words weren't jokes. They were precision strikes, each one ripping through Jasmine Crockett's carefully rehearsed lines. The live studio felt like a war zone, lights glaring, cameras unblinking, silence hanging between explosive clashes. Jasmine thought she could control the tempo with attitude, but Greg's dry one-liners and Megyn's courtroom-level dismantling turned the stage into a verbal demolition derby. Crockett had unknowingly walked into the lion's den, and the lions were hungry. But the most devastating moment hadn't even arrived yet, because when the unreleased clip played, the entire narrative flipped.
Speaking of leftist hypocrisy and cluelessness, Jasmine Crockett is a rising star amongst the far-left progressives in this country. She's a representative from Houston, Texas, of all places, which makes no sense because she seems to be far too left for Houston, but apparently not because they elected her. It must be like, Orange County in California being like the one outlier in an otherwise uniformly state, like all red with the one blue, all blue with the one red. Okay, so Jasmine Crockett got up at a Los Angeles dinner this past Saturday, and it was hosted by, this is perfect, the Human Rights Campaign.
The tension was suffocating. Greg Gutfeld leaned back, smirking, a predator waiting for the perfect strike. His sarcasm cut like a scalpel, while Megyn Kelly stepped in with the authority of a federal prosecutor halting chaos in mid-courtroom. And there, in the center of it all, was Jasmine Crockett, flinging insults and attitude like she was untouchable, unaware the entire nation was watching in flawless 4K. Every eye roll, every shaky comeback, every slip was immortalized on camera. What Jasmine thought was a battle of words turned into a televised trial of credibility. And when Megyn dropped the one fact Jasmine couldn't refute, the silence that followed was louder than any applause. This was the moment everything changed, and the fallout was only beginning.
3 years, it's not like that was 20 years, but then she moved to Mississippi for all that time. That was 3 years ago. She sounded like a totally normal person. It's only now she's got her accent and she's going to kick everybody's ass. It's such an affectation.
The cameras clicked on, and Jasmine Crockett entered like a star stepping onto a runway, radiating confidence. Her style, her attitude, her carefully curated brand, everything screamed control. But Congress isn't a photo shoot, and Greg Gutfeld knew it. One by one, he stripped away the glitter, exposing the hollow performance beneath. Megyn Kelly followed, sharp and unrelenting, dismantling Crockett's fiery speeches with receipts and cold, unforgiving facts. What Jasmine thought was power became performance art, and the audience could feel it unraveling in real time. And just when she thought she'd regained her footing, Greg dropped a line so brutal it froze the entire studio. That was the moment Jasmine realized this wasn't politics anymore. It was survival.
Is she making any point there?
Like this makes me wish my mom made different father choices.
Greg Gutfeld didn't need to raise his voice. He didn't need to shout. His words were surgical strikes, and every one landed. Jasmine Crockett came armed with catchphrases and camera-ready sass, but Greg countered with logic so sharp it sliced through her arguments like glass. Megyn Kelly stepped in next, calm and lethal, pulling up exact dates, receipts, and policies, each fact stacking higher than Jasmine's defenses could handle. The audience gasped, sensing the shift. This wasn't a debate anymore. It was a dismantling. Jasmine's confidence shattered under the weight of truth, and yet she kept fighting, unaware that the knockout punch was seconds away. And when Megyn delivered it, live and unfiltered, Jasmine's entire narrative collapsed in front of millions.
So this is funny. Jasmine Crockett sits on the Judiciary Committee, and about a month ago, Walter, I testified.
Yes, we saw this.
Yeah, and the hearings, the full committee hearings, are quite long. You can be there for over 4 hours. So, and they let the most junior members ask questions last. So I had to sit for quite a long time. And then at the very end, Jasmine Crockett, who I had never heard before, suddenly started screaming at me and Michael Schellenberger. And when you're a witness in Congress, you have to pay attention to what everybody says, because you never know when you're going to be asked an actual question and allowed to, maybe even allowed to speak. But I could not understand what she was saying. She was moving from one thing to another, and she was doing all that code switching stuff with the y'alls and y'all eyeing on this.
The clash was inevitable, but no one expected it to escalate this fast. Greg Gutfeld leaned forward, eyes locked, voice low, slicing through Jasmine Crockett's persona like a blade. She wasn't fighting policy battles. He was performing for cameras, delivering sound bites, hashtags, and viral-ready tantrums. But Greg didn't play that game. His silence alone carried more weight than her shouting, his smirk exposing a truth she couldn't refute. Megyn Kelly stood by, composed and deadly, dropping precision facts like a prosecutor laying out a case before the jury. Crockett thought she was the star of the show. Instead, she became Exhibit A. And just when it seemed Jasmine had hit rock bottom, Greg's final blow turned this showdown into a masterclass in public humiliation.
This woman, I've had about enough of her. She wants to be like a member of the squad. She thinks of herself like an AOC. She talks like, she's from the hood. Meanwhile, she grew up in a nice family. She didn't talk like this 3 years ago. 3 years ago, she sounded like you and I sound in this conversation. Like, I'm really excited to be going to Congress. I can't wait to get started on my new job. And now she's like, we need to smack him in the head.
We know that we work for the American people. And what we not gonna do is stand around while they pull this that they trying to pull right now.
Like, what do you, we have videotape. Why are you talking like that? No one believes this bullshit. And now she's graduated to acting like a thug. So congratulations, your term in the U.S. Congress is going really well.
That was a great impression.
She came armed with buzzwords and bravado, tossing slogans like confetti. But this wasn't a celebration. It was an ambush. Jasmine Crockett's every line was designed for viral clips. Yet Greg Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly weren't interested in sound bites. They came for truth, and they came loaded. As Jasmine flung attitude, Megyn countered with exact policies, and Greg with cutting sarcasm. And the audience watched in stunned silence as Crockett's defenses collapsed. Every attempt to pivot, every clapback, every mic drop moment turned into ammunition for her opponents. And then came the breaking point. An unreleased clip rolled, exposing the receipts Jasmine never wanted seen. From that moment, the game was over. But the fallout had only just begun.
Do you share your boxcar with people of color?
I do.
Yeah.
My boxcar does not know race, does not know gender. It is a welcome space
That is so
where only
beautiful.
deodorant is not welcome. I like this Jasmine Crockett lady, right?
It's a great name, isn't it, for a villain?
Yeah.
And Crockett is the whitest last name you could ever have.
Yeah.
I want to throw that out there.
Sonny Crockett, Miami Vice.
Yes?
It's like the whole thing is like, because I've seen her, she's very well spoken, and then she gets on certain programs and lets it. So maybe this whole thing is like a Netflix documentary, like a new spin on Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde.
This wasn't personal. It was surgical. Greg Gutfeld and Megyn Kelly weren't attacking Jasmine Crockett. They were dismantling an entire brand built on performance, outrage, and perfectly curated sound bites. But live TV has no filters, and Crockett's contradictions unfolded in real time. For every practiced glare and dramatic pause, Megyn had documents. For every hashtag-ready speech, Greg had sarcasm sharp enough to draw blood. The studio grew tense as Jasmine struggled to defend her record, her words unraveling faster than she could spin them. By the end, the contrast was undeniable. This wasn't leadership, it was branding. And then Megyn dropped the final fact, a single revelation that stripped the act bare. Suddenly, Jasmine wasn't just losing an argument, she was losing the narrative.
But she is going to be the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
You are going to be so glad she
Keep her
popped up
around.
on the scene.
That's going to make up for the White House Correspondents' Dinner. We're going to get a segment a day from her.
Imagine a courtroom where the defendant tries to turn closing arguments into a TED Talk about their feelings. That was Jasmine Crockett on live TV. She came armed with emotion, not evidence, passion, not policy. But Greg Gutfeld was ready, mocking her theatrics with razor-edged precision, exposing her talking points as flimsy and hollow. Megyn Kelly entered like a seasoned prosecutor, dismantling Jasmine's claims line by line until even the audience began questioning everything they'd been told. Each exchange raised the stakes. Every silence felt heavier. And by the time Jasmine realized the walls were closing in, it was too late. The moment Megyn revealed the one receipt Jasmine couldn't deny, the entire studio erupted, and Jasmine's defense collapsed in seconds.
Like, this is, if you're going to talk about black history, at least know it. This is, at least know it, okay? But it goes back to, that was 45 seconds of some of the, like, Kamala, you good right now. That was some of the dumbest I ever heard in my life. Here's the thing. This goes back to what we talked about earlier. They never have a solution. Just listen to your dumbass talk. You want to talk about agriculture? Why don't you fix the lottery? Why don't you make it easier for people who want to come into this country to work in agriculture and equitation?
Jasmine Crockett walked onto that stage convinced she'd dominate, but she didn't know she was stepping into an ambush. Greg Gutfeld came armed with wit like a blade, Megyn Kelly with facts like loaded ammunition, and within minutes, the tide turned violently against her. Every word Jasmine spoke became a weapon used against her. Every clapback was dismantled before it landed. The audience sat frozen, watching the slow unraveling of a political persona in real time. By the time Megyn delivered her final strike, an unanswerable fact backed by undeniable receipts, it wasn't just a debate anymore. It was a televised takedown, and Jasmine never saw it coming.